The first thing to do when starting to prepare your image for printing at a commercial lab is to open your prepared picture. You need this to be just exactly as you want it to be printed. At this stage, I always convert, click Edit and Convert to Profile. And because I work in ProPhoto, I need to change it to sRGB. So that's done, and I don't need to worry about forgetting it now. Now we need to resize this to fit the standard competition mount, which measures 500mm by 400mm. I like to leave a 50mm border of mount, in this case along the top and down the sides. So I size my longest size to fit in the mount that way, and then when you alter the image size that way, it automatically changes the height of the image. And because it's 500 board, 500mm wide board, I need to take 50mm off each side, which is 100, which leaves you with a 400mm print. But you need a little bit extra on the print so that it fits underneath the cutout mount neatly. So I resize mine to 406, so that gives me 3mm each side. So if we go image size, it's already set in millimeters there. There's a variety of measurements, but it's already set in millimeters. And I'm going to enter in the width, 406. And you'll see it's entered the height. The resolution is already set at 300, and 300 ppi is the resolution needed for printing at sim imaging. So I just always work in 300. They're imported in at that resolution, and that's the way it stays. If you don't get your resolution correct at this stage, the print you get back will not be the size you expect. So we click OK, and it's made it smaller. And we can check that by looking at image size again, and it shows you, well, it shows you 405.98, but that's as near to 406 as makes no difference, and 300. We then need to it is, at the moment, it is still in 16-bit, so we need to change that down to 8-bit for printing. So click image mode, and go down to 8-bit and just click it there, and there it is, done for you. At this stage, I like to save it while I've still got it in PSD format. It's otherwise completed for printing, but it's in the wrong format, so I like to save it in PSD in case I need to open it again, and I won't be losing any of the detail with the JPEG compressions. So I've got a folder on the desktop, which I've entered there, and there's my for print folder. There is other stuff in, but we'll just ignore that for the minute, and we click save. So that's safely put away to this stage. What we need to do now is to make this work on the paper that SimLab have on offer. The nearest size to this is the 18 by 12 because you need a little bit of overlap. On the list of prices and sizes, they do show inches and millimeters, so you can see exactly what size you're choosing. I'm going to work now in inches because when you come to order it on the internet, the sizes of the paper are just shown in inches. So to avoid any complications, I'm going to make this fit on an 18 by 12 sheet of paper. If you send it off as it is now and order an 18 by 12, it will stretch this picture So your shortest side will become 12 inches, which it won't be. It'll be less than that. This means that you're going to lose some of your image off the sides. So this is most important. This and the resolution are the things that make your pictures the right size when they're printed. So this time I'm not going to do the image size, I'm going to alter the canvas size. This is, you have to sort of pretend that this is a picture on a canvas, on a backing canvas, and you're going to make the canvas bigger without altering the picture size. So in the drop down we've got inches, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to make the width 18 inches, and I'm going to make the height 12 inches, which gives me a nice bit of overlap to go under the mount. So I don't want black. There's black, white and grey, or you can put whatever colour you like, but I think white is probably the best to put there. The picture, the dot is in the middle of this, so that means the print will come right in the middle of your white canvas. So if we click OK, that shows the print as you the picture as you'll receive it back from SimLab. So that's a nice comfortable amount for the mount, just to fit over the edge of the picture, and there's a little bit of spare to go under the mount to help keep it nice and flat. So at this stage we need to save it again in the print folder. File, save as, and we're already in that folder because that's the last one we were in. This time we need to convert it to a JPEG, because the correct way to set it up for SimLabs is a JPEG, which measures according to the size of the paper, which is 8-bit and which is in sRGB. It's all on the website, so it's all quite easy to check on if you forget. So if we go save there, we get to the box. I always put the maximum in there, and that's okay. So if we then just drop that down, get rid of that because we don't need it. If we have a look at the file on the desktop, the for print file, we've got, where is it, Misty Sunset? We've got the JPEG and we've got the PSD, both there, and the JPEG is ready for us to send to the internet. Now, there's a way, if you set up an action, it saves going through all this process every time you order this size print. You can't, it obviously only works for this size, so if you wanted to do a different size print you'd have to do another action. But if I delete these now, I've already got an action set up in Photoshop, which is a separate issue we would have to talk about another time. So I can go back on the history to where I converted it to the 8 bits. No, I can't. I can go back to where I opened it. Now if I go on the Action tab up here, which if you haven't got it on your screen, you find it in the window drop down and tick the ones you want there. I've set up an action called for print. So with any luck, this should do exactly what I've just been through and end up with 2 new files saved in for print. So highlight for print, click play. Let's minimise that. Come on. Open there, and there we have Misty Sunset JPEG and the PSD file. I'm going to mark that one up with a red dot so it's easy to find when I come to do the ordering. And that's the first part of the process. The second part of the process is actually completing the order on the internet at SimLab's site. As you can see, I'm on simlab.co.uk and this is the home page. We have up here, there's plenty of information on here if you want to work through it. Some of it's a little bit obscure, but on the whole, everything you need to know is there. If they receive your prints before 1 o'clock, you should receive them the next morning, delivered by DPD and packaged very securely. The prints are in cardboard envelopes, which are then protected with sheets of reeded plastic, firm reeded plastic, and then they're packed in a very strong plastic bag, which DPD will bring to you. You'll get numerous emails about where everything is and when it's going to arrive, so it's very simple to deal with. Click Order Your Prints. This is the tab for the basic photo prints, which are done on gloss or luster paper. Just occasionally you may want to treat yourself to a fine art print, in which case you would have a look there and choose your paper there. So if we go onto this, onto the photo prints, this is the order page. Click Add Files. Now you really need to do this one at a time. I've prepared another picture to go on as well, so I can show you what happens with the website when we've got them uploaded. So we'll pick Misty Sunset first and we will go choose. Now you can see it's appeared there, and up here is a drop down so you can choose the size you want. This is why before I added the white border to make the print 18 by 12, because at this stage they only show you the inches, they don't show you the metric sizes, so I just find it easier to do it like this. I've chosen a luster print there because this particular one I think looks better without too much shine. With the border you have the choice of no border or a white border. For our use, for mounting, you need to choose no border. If you choose a border, you will get a 5mm white border round your picture, which will reduce the size of your image. I know there's white there already, but it will, their computer doesn't know that. It will just take another 5mm off your picture, so it's too small for your mount. So border, no border. We'll add another file, sunset. Choose, and we can see that there. Now, at the time of filming, there's something rather strange with this website, because it won't let me select at this stage the individual image to alter the type of print I want up here. It doesn't matter particularly because you have to check it at the next stage anyway, and the alterations can be made there. I have spoken to them on the phone. Whether they'll actually do anything about it or not, I don't know, because they seem to think it might be a problem because I'm using Safari, but I've tried it on Chrome and it's just the same. It just doesn't work at this stage. So we've got the two files on, and they will both come up showing as 18 by 12 luster, because that's the nearest I can get to what I want. So start upload. This will take just a few minutes. Depends how many you've got, but when each one that's uploaded will bring up a thumbnail just down below. It tells you there the percentage of the download. There's the first one. So that's both of them downloaded, and we've gone on to the next stage, which is view basket. So what we actually need to do, I've decided I wanted that one as a luster print. The size is correct, I've got no border, and I've only got one copy. The other one I want as a gloss print, so I'm going to alter that to gloss. I've got 18 by 12 gloss, no border, one copy. So however many prints you've got, even if you could set them on the previous page, I would still advise going through the list here and checking, because I've found it a little bit unreliable in the past. We're at that stage, not going to order any more today, so we can go place order, which is the grand total of £2.20 so far. What happens next? Obviously I can't go any farther because I don't actually want these prints. What happens next is we go through the payment process, and then this is the final confirm details and place order sheet. Draw it out a bit, make it a little bit easier to see. No, I don't want that one, or not that one.